Well, always expect the unexpected. You know what that I've always been saying that. I've got a big landslip on the track here heading to where I wanted to go, so I'm going to have to adapt and improvise a bit and change my plans. So I'm going to head back down the track about another 3 or 4 k's, try and bush smash my way down to the river and go downstream from there to roughly the same area I wanted to get in. So it's going to take me a bit longer and be a bit tougher, but I think we'll hopefully be able to do it. So I've got plenty of daylight, so not going to panic, just going to take my time and try and solve the problem. We'll get there. Well, g'day, how's it going? I'm Clint Waghorn and we're heading off on another crazy adventure. As promised last time, it's going to be for 10 days, so no food, not much gear, no tent, no cooker, no rifle, no rod. So somehow we've got to hunt, fish and forage our way through the next 10 days with what we've got with me and whatever I can find in the forest or down by the river around me. So as usual, I'm doing it in the style of Alone Australia, so I've got 10 items and absolutely minimal gear. So when I get to camp sometime later today, I'm going to pull my pack apart and show you what I've got. So this time we're heading into a remote river. So it's taken me a couple of hours on the farm bike to get to this point. I couldn't actually get to where I really wanted to go because there was a big slip on the road. So I had to adapt my plans a little. From here, I've got no idea. I can hear the river. It's down a big gorge behind me, but we're going to have to bush bash our way down through the forest, try and find a way down through the cliffs and the rocks into the river, and then downstream to where hopefully there's some little benches on the other side where I can camp. So it's all a bit of an unknown, and so that's all right. It's part of the challenge. So 10 days is quite a long time, so we're really ramping up the level of difficulty here because it's becomes much more of a physical and a mental challenge. So we'll see how it goes. I'm confident. I know this river's got some good fishing in it. I've fished it before in another area, done quite well. So there should be trout, there should be eels, there should be a few red deer, maybe the odd goat. I'm not really sure about the hunting. I've never hunted here before. We'll just play it a bit by ear and see how it goes. Anyway, it's early summer, crack a day. It's been a bit of rain lately. There's more on the way. So we've got a couple of days to get in, get camp set up and get sorted and get organised. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm a little bit nervous, I suppose, probably rightly so. I'm not sure where my next feed's going to come from, but we'll head off now and bush crash and see if we can't find the river for a start. So let's go. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I just poked my head over the bank and looked at the river. The first thing I saw was 2 big trouts swimming around the pool below me. So that is awesome. I am super buzzed. I've just got to get down off this cliffy stuff here in front of me and find a campsite somewhere. Man, I am looking forward to some fresh trout. We'll go downstream a bit, I think. I don't know, it's pretty gnarly here. I think we're going to have to find a goat track somewhere. The animals always know the way down these places, so follow the animals. Well, we've gone down to the river finally. About 40 minutes, actually wasn't as bad as I thought. This is the pool where I saw those 2 fish, but I'm not going to stop and fish. I'll need to go and get camp set up. We'll have plenty of time for fishing, so now's where we get wet, across the river. I'm actually hot and thirsty, so I've got to jump in for a swim and a drink. Probably, well, we'll have a drink here, but we won't swim until we get down a little bit. Trying to find a little flat point or headland or river flat or something big enough to put up my tarp. I carried that dirty big green tarp I had last time. I wasn't going to, but I thought, well, 10 days, you know, it's a fair load. Actually take up half my pack. It's a fair load, but it's quite nice to have a bit of room to stand up and move around in when the weather's bad. So that's what I've done. Anyway, I had no food to put in my pack, so I had enough room for it. So anyway, we'll jump in the river now, cool off, and start working our way downstream. Well, I'm just about to cross the river. I can see at least two trout out there and a big eel without even trying. So it's going to be an interesting few days. Trout right there, there's a eel right there, there's a trout out there in the current, and there's another one up there I can see. No doubt others here as well, so ooh, the fisherman in me is getting an itchy finger. My rod casting arm's getting twitching a bit. Well, it's now 10 to 3. We've been sort of heading downstream the last couple of hours looking around for campsites. Few and far between, to be honest, not real good ones anyway, but what I've found here is about as good as I'm going to get. It's away from the river about probably 100 metres. It's up on a little plateau. There's a lovely little bubbly stream just behind me here, which is great water source. So if the main river floods, gets all brown and dirty and horrible, this creek here should be beautiful. It's fairly quiet. It's away from the noise of the river, which I quite like because I'm a fairly light sleeper. I don't like the noisy river, so that's a bonus. It's nice and shady. Quite a bit of punga around, quite nice shady. It'll be pretty sheltered. It's got good draining little site here, free draining. I'll have to make the site a little bit bigger. It's not very big at the moment. The only thing really lacking is firewood. I'm going to have to probably carry it find some driftwood down the river somewhere. Also, what I did find is a nice little clearing just along here. There's obviously been an old hunter's camp there that's all fallen down and tangled up in the blackberry and rubbish, but there is a few bits and pieces here I could use. So I'll scavenge some of that and use it for my own camp. So that's a bonus. Unfortunately, out on that little clearing, there's heaps of young blackberry and gorse coming away, and no sign of live animals. Just a few skeletons where there's been some animal control done, maybe. Looks like dead goats, a couple of deer skulls. So there's been animals around, but I would say they've had a bit of a towel up, and doc or contractors have been in here doing some control work. Even so, I have seen the odd mark this afternoon, so there's bound to be something around. Seen a couple, 2 or 3 trout. So the river's quite hard to get up and down, so it'll be much easier without the pack on my back, that's for sure. So I think we'll see if we can't knock some sort of a shape into this campsite and get something organised. Probably won't get camp finished today, but I'll make a start on it. I want to try and get down the river and have a crack at the trout before dark, so at least you know, we've got something to eat. There's no guarantees, of course. The other thing is I've got to find some tinder. I've seen no good tinder around here. I did see a bit of toi on the other side of the river, so we'll go over there and see if we can't scratch up a bit of that. Yeah, so we'll give it a crack, see what happens. Yeah, so we'll level out the ground here, get rid of those couple little pungas, level it out. I think it should be alright. Well, as usual, I'll go through my gear very quickly, just before I make a big mess of things, and it ends up all over the forest floor. So, first up, 10 items, machete, does the job. The bow, of course, the Black Hunter 45 pound. I've got 9 arrows this time with broadheads. I've got arrows in that case there, broadheads in there. A little bit of paracord setting up camp, the old ferro rod, 6-inch job. This here I've been loaned for this trip. It's a silky big boy, so I've left my little wee saw at home and I've got that big sucker, so we'll see how it works. Very, very sharp, so I'm going to have to be a bit careful with that. The old billy with the lid, a little bit of wire, copper wire once again off the old generator at home. Not sure what we'll do with that, but you never know, might be possum around. Got some nylon, a couple of different breaking strains of nylon, 12 pound, 6 pound, and a collection of small hooks. Hopefully we'll make a fly or two, find a beetle or bug or something to go on a hook. Sleeping bag, slightly lighter weight bag. It's still a down bag, but I use this one over the summer. It's getting quite hot at the moment, so don't want to be cooking at night. And the Leatherman Wave, so pretty good for handy to have around camp. So that's about it. I think we'll try and get organised and get a shelter up before dark. Ooh. I'm just taking a bit of a break. Camp's nearly done. Well, it's shelter anyway. I've got a bit more work to do on it, but I might do some more tomorrow. Got to start getting some wood together, try and find some tinder and get a rod made up to have a go to fish or something later. So yeah, I think it's going to work alright. I think I'll take the pack down the river and the saw and see if we can't find some driftwood. There's not a lot in this bit of forest here. Everything's quite damp. No manuka just here or anything like that. It's a little bit out on the edge of the river before I saw, so hopefully we can find some good dry wood out there somewhere. 10 days actually used quite a bit. Anyway, I'm glad I put it in the shade. It's real hot. All cooking. It's quite pleasant under the shade though. It's ideal. Well, it's late in the day now. I've jimmied up a quick rod. It's rough as, but I'm going to give it a whirl tonight. I've only got an hour of light, so I've shot down to the river. There's a nice pool just by camp. I've seen a fish just upstream splashing on the surface, so they're active. I haven't had a chance to make up any flies or lures or anything like that. In fact, I haven't even seen any feathers, but tomorrow, the next few days, we'll have a look around, see what we can find. Been hunting around for a bit of bait, and I've found a small cicada. So I'm going to give it a whirl. That's about all I've got, so I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. Yeah, hopefully tomorrow we'll hunt up some more bugs and grubs and make up some flies. Well, it's cooling off at last anyway. It's been a hot afternoon, so I'm going to chuck this out and see if we can get any action. Well, nothing on the fishing, but I didn't really expect too much tonight. It was a bit of a rush job. I'm going to head back to camp, see if I can get a fire going, boil up the billy, and I did actually find a bit of plantain and some curcuma fern down here, so it wasn't a wasted trip. I got a feed of some vegetables for dinner, so it's going to be a cracker night. So you never know, we might even hear a possum. But I think we'll go back, get a fire going. I'm pretty worn out, been a long hot day, used a lot of energy today, so good night's rest and a bit of liquid in the system, and we'll be into it tomorrow. Yeah! Well, there's dinner, it's not too bad. Plate full of veggies, could be worse, could be nothing. Made a Manuka tea. As you see, I found a plate and a cup and a billy, and I mean a bucket, over at the old campsite. So that was a good score. There's some other stuff there as well. I might have a fossick around tomorrow. Bits of wire, and found an old foam squab that was quite wet. I'm putting that on my bed. There's bits of plastic and bits of tarp, so I might use that to rig up a little lean-to here for the fireplace tomorrow. So pretty good score, I thought. Anyway, I'm going to finish my dinner off and crawl into bed. On the way back to camp earlier on, I stumbled on a pile of feathers. How's that for luck? Must be a dead pigeon or something, so now I've got a few feathers to work with in the morning. And I've been getting some great big moths fly into my headlamp around the campfire, so I'm saving those as well. So things are going alright, looking very promising. Hopefully we'll get a good day tomorrow, we can get a fish. Can't beat that bit of protein. Anyway, it's been a good day. Bring on tomorrow.